Ooh, let's get it. Let's get it. Before we even get into this episode, I'm gonna let y'all know that this particular episode is gonna be available not only hold on, wait, let me get into it real quick. Let me set everything up, make sure everything's right. And I'm a little under the weather, guys, so bear with me. I'm just trying to make sure that y'all get this material in a timely fashion. Like I said, I'm gonna try my best to make sure um, I'm delivering these episodes at least on a bi-weekly basis uh, until I saying I get settled and I be able to have my own setup like I used to. Uh, what that name? Podcast, man. Okay, all right. Well, I'm a little under the weather too, so keep that in mind before we even get into this. But I just want to cover some information with you guys. Also, this episode is going to be available not only on Anchor, it's going to be available on Spotify, which means it's going to be available on iTunes. So we're giving y'all the visuals and we're giving y'all the audio. So um, today I'm going to be covering the pros and the cons when you're getting ready to start HRT or throughout the process of you going through HRT. Unfortunately, the cons list is a little longer than the pros, but I guess it depends on the way you see it. So before we get into the great things, let's get the little negative shit out the way. So the cons, the first thing, oh man, the very first thing is getting used to hormones. Uh, whether it is taking the shots or just your body getting used to it. Okay, so let me explain. When I first started my transition, um, my testosterone levels were high, higher than, what I'm saying, my prior sex. So I didn't really have a hard transition. The hardest part for me was just, getting used to the outside stuff, and we'll go over the outside stuff soon. But we're talking about internally right now. So your body, well, in my experience, I ended up having to go to a doctor because, first of all, I'm in Texas. It's hot as hell. It's summertime, uh, which means we hitting the hundreds easy like a normal day. And also, I'm wearing a binder. A binder is what you use to flatten your chest. I'm using a binder that's underneath my clothes. That's extra heat. So I'm pretty much baking. Um, and I used to be working out, and I never worked out with my binder, which don't ever do that. But I did have some issues with overheating. I used to overheat. Like the moment I used to walk outside, I used to scratch and itch all over my body. And I found out that was because I needed to up my water intake, because it was different from the amount of water you're supposed to have is a little bit different from when you change sex, and when you're going through hormones you need as many liquids as possible. So getting used to hormones in that area, far as just your body reacting to it. Also, just you taking the shots. Some people are squeamish, you know what I'm saying, and they might not be able to take shots. So early on in my transition, I didn't used to take my own shots. My ex used to take them for me. She would just give them to me, a shot in the butt every 2 weeks, um, and it was easy. But when you're doing it yourself, as you go throughout your transition, if you're going from female to male, your skin is gonna get, it's gonna get thicker. So you're gonna have to get used to that, and you're gonna have to penetrate like through the skin, and sometimes it hurts more because your skin is thicker. So if you have a weak stomach, I recommend you get somebody to kind of do it for you. Don't do it yourself. Uh, Even if you have to go to your doctor to do it every 2 weeks or whatever the case may be for you, in order to just make sure you're good. Because if you're not, You don't. The last thing you want to do, and I hear about this happening, is pass out during your shot. Because if you don't let nobody know that you're taking a shot, how is someone supposed to, know that you've passed out? What I would do is anytime, I'm about to take my shot myself, I don't do it as frequently as I should, but I send my girl like the shot emoji, on your phone. So I would just, send that real quick, boom, and we good to go from there. Um, Another con, and this is kind of inevitable, is dealing with family members. Sometimes when you're dealing with family, if you come from a family like I come from, we typically were told to stay away from people in the LGBTQ community, um, because they were living their lives, to make the devil happy, little stuff like that. Um, it was stupid at the end of the day, and it was very judgmental. And sometimes family tends to be that way. So the best thing that I could tell you is surround yourself with people that love you, because once you do that, you'll be better off, and all the negativity that you're dealing with, you won't really be worried about it, because you'll be surrounded by love, and that's the best thing in the world. Um, expect to be talked about, expect the gossip, um, and expect your name to be in people's mouths, because especially if you're from an area where I'm from, people don't typically be trans. So I knew that I was going to be something that was talked about, and early on in my transition, I had to kind of delete all my mom's side of the family from social media, because one of my cousins made a post about me and my sexuality. Um, and we still don't talk to this day. It's probably been 3, 4 years, maybe, I don't know. But you, if you're going to do this, initially you have to set up the fact that you don't tolerate any disrespect. If you're like me, some people are okay with letting people call them whatever or say whatever. I just never been that person. So it depends on you and who you are. Also, being misgendered. When I used to work at my other job, they saw my transition from beginning, to where it is now. So, um, me having to go to the bathroom, them not being cool with that at first, until they start, to see the hairs, things like that. Um, and some people misgender you on purpose, some people do it by accident. Uh, just try to be uh, just try to evaluate the situation and see what their intentions are, and let them know what your intentions are and why you would prefer to be called, he or instead of she, or she instead of he. Let them know. Yeah, in the workplace, you have to be professional about it. But me, I'm militant, so I wasn't really professional about it. It was just like I told him straight up, you're disrespecting me when you're calling me she, because that's not who I am. And he was like, I don't understand it. We got into a little, beef or whatever. But we ended up coming back to that right before I left and moved to Atlanta. And he was like, I'm so sorry I disrespected you. I completely understand now. So sometimes you can be the one who changes someone's perspective on everything. Um, ID complications. If you don't look like your ID, expect to have complications at the airport, at a store where you have to present your ID, anywhere like that. Also, dealing with transphobia and homophobia, that's the last con, but that's something that you can't really help. People are going to be who they are, and you are going to be who you are. So, it's people either got to get with it or get lost. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Pros, your self confidence will go through the roof, man. I'm talking about because you're finally able to be who you are. And if that doesn't make your self confidence go through the roof, I don't know what will. But it's extremely, extremely beneficial to someone who is going who is taking hormones for the first time, because you're going to feel like you're finally yourself, and that's priceless. Uh, you get to live in your truth. When you live in your life with truth, you're able to walk different, talk different. You know what I'm saying? Because you're, like I said, you're finally able to be yourself.